I knew there were extreme issues. I'd just been putting it off for a long time.
I was having trouble understanding people when they talk.
When everyone had to start repeating things for me, my husband said, it's time to go someplace.
Got little grandbabies, and I couldn't hear them when they were saying my name.
My son kept saying, "Mom, go see about it." So I did.
I knew I had a problem. But like all people that ultimately come in with any kind of hearing problem, believe me, I don't care who this is. When they come in the door, they're really trying to convince themselves they don't have a problem.
I was in the office one day with another nurse, and she said, "Oh, listen to that, Helen." I said, "Listen to what?" She said, "Can't you hear that?" I said, "No, what?" She says, "The rain on the roof. It was pouring down rain." And she says, "Oh, I think you need to get a hearing aid."
I don't hear you because you don't speak properly. I went through this, I know. By the time I decided to come here, I already knew this. I had talked it over with myself. Bam.
Hello. Hi there. How are you?
I had looked and looked and looked and been tested many, many times and almost bought one time. So I needed them long before I got them, simply because I was waiting for something like this, evidently. And when I found this, I knew what I wanted because I had been through all of that before.
Okay, there you are, and there's your receipt.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I walked outside and I asked my husband, I said, "What's that noise?" He said, "It's the traffic." All the traffic I had been in before, I didn't know the world was that noisy.
Just going to check for some earwax.
So anyway, I came down and said, well, I think the first thing I better do is to have my hearing checked. So we come in and I ran into Dusty.
My name is Dustin Spaulding, and I'm a hearing instrument specialist at Echo Hearing Systems.
Dusty knew what he was doing. He knew how to tell you what was going on.
You do have quite a bit of wax filled up on your air vents here.
Yeah.
I'll clean those out for you.
And his whole approach, I mean, the way the people spoke to you, from the minute you walked in the door till today, I mean, I have received nothing but complete respect and courtesy. And to make it very simple, I haven't received any baloney.
We'll go ahead and put you right here. Now, the first thing we are going to do, we're going to look down inside your ears. We'll look inside both of them while we're here.
I even brought my wife in. I brought her in because I knew that Dusty and his people here were not going to sit here and try to sell me a set of hearing aids. And they weren't going to try to sell my wife a set of hearing aids either.
What sets us apart from other businesses is that we don't just see a patient and automatically assume that they need to have hearing aids. We're more informational and informative, so we'd like to let a person know where they're at, where they stand, and give them all their options.
I wanted to know why she kept telling me.
Now this one I can't hear anything.
Okay.
I tried buying a cheap set of them, put them in her ear. Did it do any good? No. I put one of mine in her ear. Don't hear anything. How are those wonderful things I'm wearing, you can't hear anything? I don't believe this.
Have you ever seen down inside your ear before?
No, I haven't, and I really don't want to. Yeah, look at us.
Look at that. That is all earwax you have right in there.
I figured that.
That doesn't surprise me at all that you can't hear out of that because it's completely clogged.
She's very happy. I'm very happy. If anybody asks me about hearing aids, I'm not going to walk up and say, hey, you can't hear. Go over and see Echo. I'm not going to do that. But if anybody comes up and says, gee, I didn't know you wore hearing aids, I'll damn well tell them where I got them.
I make it a point to connect with my patients because I really care about them and what happens in their lives and care about their hearing because I know that hearing and being with family and interactions is really important to them and that's my job and that's what I love to do.
Before I even left here, on that first visit. They had put trial hearing aids in. I could not believe with the original adjustments that they made based upon my hearing test, I could not believe the amazing difference.
When patients come in that aren't hearing well, they feel really isolated, and so when they get in those types of situations, they're always in the corner, of the room, not communicating with everybody and interacting, and a lot of people will be diagnosed with, some type of Alzheimer's. And what they found out is there's a direct correlation between that and untreated hearing loss. And so some of those people that thought, their grandpa or grandma, had some type of depression or isolation issues, once we fit them with hearing aids, they start to interact again. And they start to be a part of the family and get to do all the family functions.
The difficulty was making out words. They're loud enough, but not clear enough.
Words mean things to me. Sounds mean things to me. Change the sound and you change what I think. You change what I hear, you change what I do.
I remember the day I walked out of here with my hearing aids and I could hear my husband's leather shoes squeaking. He took me to a restaurant to eat. I could hear traffic. I could hear like blinkers in the Jeep. I could hear knives and spoons on the table. It was things that you don't realize that you even miss. The birds when you take a walk. It's just been incredible how much that I hadn't realized that I was even missing out on.
Just love my hearing aids, and I don't care who sees them. I don't care if they stick out over here or I pull my hair back so people can see them sometimes. If they want to ask me about them, great. I will stand there for 30 minutes and tell them. As long as they'll listen, I'll talk about my hearing aids.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Good. All right, now I guess the bigger question is how your hearing aid's doing.
My normal experience in coming to Echo is always prompt service. I really like Dustin. He's pleasant, friendly, professional.
He makes everyone feel so comfortable.
Yes, I'm making sure that's not too loud. Does that sound pretty even on both sides?
Yes, it does.
Okay, good. We want to make sure they're balanced out on both sides.
Yeah, just
Okay.
fine.
We fix their hearing aids and then we just talk about, what's going on in their lives.
Dustin treats you more like a human. He's not cold or clinical at all. Spends time with you other than just your problem. Just asking how you've been, and he remembers your husband's name and that you've bought a new home, and it makes the visit pleasant.
Dustin has been just outstanding.
This is one of my doctor's visits I never dread going to, like you would at a clinic where you're in and out. They take care of your problem and out you go.
Everybody's really nice. They know exactly what your problem is, and they're really good at knowing how to handle it. And I've been real pleased with it.
Echo Hearing I don't know of any other hearing aid place that I would go to.
I've been treated very, very well. I don't think anybody went out of their way for me. I think this is the way they work.
If anybody needs a hearing aid, they need to come to Echo Hearing or they will not be satisfied.